Okay, alright. So, I've been planning on making recordings for a while, and I know I promised my brother to actually start doing this, and I'm sure he's been announcing it to the world on his channel, which I'm gonna be joining. So, I think this is gonna be my first recorded video. And right now I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with this whole thing, how to get all of the audio on the right levels and everything. So this probably won't actually go up. It'll probably sound terrible and be terrible because I suck at this game, and people probably won't want to watch me suck at it because I think I've played for 20 hours and still get my shit pushed in on a daily basis. It's not fun. But I'm going to beat it eventually, so I'm going to go ahead and start a new game. And I only have the NG ship unlocked. And I know there's a couple of other ones. I'm not sure what they are, because I'm terrible at this game and I can't beat it, so I'm probably never going to unlock any of the other ships, or any of the other layouts. But yeah, alright, I'm going to go with the NG ship this time, and I'm going to go ahead and start it and see what I can do. Probably get killed. So, I'm immediately... One thing I really hate about this ship is the fact that you can't really have your ion and your combat drone on at the same time without disabling something. And it's usually either your health or your engines, which is really obnoxious until you get enough scrap in order to upgrade your reactor by one. Whatever, let's see what happens. Probably gonna get killed immediately. So the easiest thing to do against these is... well, okay. They've got a drone disabled thing, so... immediately off to a great start. I'm gonna have to disable the drones if I'm gonna do anything to this ship. Otherwise, I'm in trouble, because it will just keep disabling my drone otherwise. So all I can do is keep shooting at this and hope that it shoots the drone control center on their ship. Otherwise, it's gonna get shot down, and that's not gonna be fun for me. But right now it looks like everything's going pretty good, so I don't have to worry about it that much. But it's usually a good sign if you're struggling to beat the first enemy ship and you're having this much difficulty. But they're not doing any damage to me, at least. They're pretty defensive-minded and just not doing any damage to me. But they keep shooting down my combat drone and doing damage to it, so I don't think I'm going to actually be able to get anything done right now. There we go. Okay. I'm probably just going to keep this going until I die. Probably won't be that long. I usually only make it to Sector 4 or 5 before my ship gets blown up. And it's usually, I'm usually doing fine, and then something bad happens. And then he snaps their fingers, and I end up in an asteroid field, or fall right into a sun, and something happens, and my oxygen gets destroyed, or something like that. Just something bad, something that makes me lose. Like right here. It's a Zoltan ship. It's good. We are in an asteroid field, so it makes their energy shields a little bit less effective, but the problem is they have a beam weapon, and I only have one shield, and if they hit me with that beam weapon after my shields are down, it's gonna do a lot of damage, like that. So, since I'm taking damage and they're offering a surrender, I think I'm just gonna take that, just because I don't want to get destroyed by these asteroids, which are coming in and wrecking my ship as we speak. Right now I'm just waiting for the FTL drive to charge up, and I'm just going to jump out of here after the the oxygen gets fixed. Because I'd rather not jump into a combat situation and have to deal with not having any of that. I'm gonna move this guy over to the shields because just put this gross little mantis creature in on the engines. Because they're better at combat than they are at anything else, so putting them there isn't that bad. So right here we've got a quest. They just want us to take them somewhere, just there, to the quest marker. And usually they'll give you scrap or drone parts or maybe missiles. It really depends on what they feel like giving you. And it's usually never useful. Never get anything good. Alright. So upgrading the oxygen system's really not that great. I'd rather have anything else, honestly. Just because it doesn't really provide any real use. So right here they're asking if I want to send a crew member to go and fight giant alien spiders, and usually what happens is I send someone and they get killed. So I'm not gonna. Those people are just gonna all die. It's not worth it. I mean, really all I've realized about this game is that it doesn't matter how risky or how careful you play this game, you're gonna get screwed eventually. And really all you can do is try to make it as toned down and less devastating as possible. So here we have the option to try and invite someone to join our crew, but sometimes it doesn't really go well. They try and screw you over and destroy you. But this time it looks like they're alright, so I'm going to put them in the sensor room so I can find out what's going on enemy ships. Hopefully be able to have a leg up on them, because when you can see the enemy crew and where they are, you can usually aim your guns and try and take them out so you can disable their ship. But the problem with the NG one is you have a combat drone that doesn't listen to what you're doing, so you can only hope that it shoots at them. We don't have any missiles for this, so that's just done. And I think I'm just going to jump out of this system. I don't have a ton of fuel. 10 is pretty decent, but you never know if you're going to actually get more. So we got a beam weapon, which is really, really good. So I think I might have to prioritize getting that up and running over getting better drones or anything, because this would be really useful, because the ion beam charges up so quickly and it can take out shields, and I'd be able to really do some damage, because halberd beams I believe do 2 damage per room, which is pretty good, honestly. Let's take a look. Yeah, 2 damage per rooms, and I believe you can get 3 or 4 easily. Alright, well, these nebulas are always a problem because you can't see what's going on in your ship, so sometimes when you get intruder attacks and you get boarded, there's really nothing you can do to find them. You just have to throw guys into various rooms and hope that they don't get killed horribly. I don't know what cookie butter tastes like. Alright, so right here, I think I'm going to give them the fuel and hope that we get something out of it. And they upgraded our reactor for 2 fuel, which is pretty decent, and there's a store right here. So that gamble kind of paid off because we're in a pretty good situation. We got reactor upgrade out of it, and we've got the chance to get more fuel from the store that we're going to. And here we've got another quest. I'm going to take it. They're usually not difficult. They're usually pretty close by. But it's not gonna happen because the quest marker is already inside rebel controlled space, so I'm not gonna be able to do that because the anti-ship batteries that the rebels have are too strong. They'd rip me apart. Alright, that was pointless. I'm gonna jump to the store, get fuel, because that's what we need desperately right now. Oops. Bought a missile on accident, just out of habit from playing with the Kestrel ship, which is the one I prefer. I think that I'm gonna take that. I don't like the NG Medbot dispersal unit. It's not that useful. I'm gonna take that and hope that I can find... I'm considering selling the Halberd Beam, but I think I'll hold on to that because it'll come in use later, and it was free. I think I'll just hold on to it for right now because I will get more scrap soon. But I don't really have any combat capabilities, so yeah, I shouldn't be stupid. I'm just gonna focus on getting the ability to fire and use that because it's a really strong drone right there. Combat drones are very powerful. Highly recommend using them at all times. Upgrade them at every chance you get. Because the Mark II is much better than the Mark I because it moves a lot faster and you're not going to find yourself in situations where the drone is moving too slowly to take advantage of their shields going down. So they've got a cloaking device on this ship. It doesn't have any crew or anything, so all I can really do is try and take out that... try and keep the cloaking device disabled. Otherwise, they'll be able to charge up their weapons while they're invisible, while I can't charge them up at all, so that puts me in a disadvantageous position. But right there, ooh, ion bomb, that's really useful, because it completely ignores shields, and one of the problems that you have with the ion weapons is that when it hits shields, it automatically applies the ion damage to the shields, but with an ion bomb, it goes straight past that, and it does direct damage to the system instead. So that means you could use your regular ion shot to take down the shields while using an ion bomb to take down their weapon systems, which would be very useful, especially on more dangerous ships, and because it's a missile, or it's a teleporting bomb, I should say, it goes straight past all shields and goes directly to the system. So that will be really good against heavily armed ships, and I might be able to take them on, and I need to use that really wisely. I need to upgrade my weapon systems and get another power bar. But I can always just... Oh, okay, that's interesting. I did not realize that. So that means I'm going to keep that guy standing in here so that I can use the ion bomb system, because apparently the Zoltan crew add a power bar in whatever room they're in. I didn't know that. I've never had one, actually. And I always thought they were pretty bad looking at them on paper because they have less health than everyone. If they die, they do damage to everyone in the room, which isn't very useful if you're fighting a large group of enemies because they'll die before anyone else and damage your guys as well. Alright. Manus ships really aren't that scary. I've never had a problem with defeating them. The ones that I'm the most afraid of are typically slug ships. They're very powerful for what they are, and you typically only see them later on, and then they're a real pain. They're always going to be able to do a lot of damage to you, because they prioritize a lot of strange, like flak weapons, which are pretty devastating to the rebel ship that you have. Almost out of fuel. It's probably where I die, even though I've gotten some pretty good weapons. I am dead. Probably. Hey! Alright. So I got 2 fuel, which is nice. Which means I can get to the next sector and hopefully jump far enough away that I don't have to worry too much about getting slaughtered horribly. Okay, oh, this is the quest destination that I got. It was in a completely different sector. That's interesting. And I got a reactor upgrade, but this is terrible because I have no fuel.
Did you put your stuff in the washing machine?
Okay. So luckily we've been bailed out again. But I don't think I'm going to be able to keep doing this. I'm going to have to find some way to get fuel, which means I'm gonna dock and try and rescue survivors. That didn't work out very well, but at least from this location I can jump a decent distance away, so we have a better chance of not being screwed over with no fuel. But here we've got a Mantis ship, and they love hanging out by suns for whatever reason. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. But this is a bad position for me to be in, because they have a lot more weapons than I do, and all I can really do in this situation is try and keep their weapons disabled while my combat drone flies around, and I just can only hope that it shoots the weapon systems down. So right here I'm going to use an ion bomb to disable that. That would be great. And yeah, we won. But this is the problem with being in the sun systems. It causes immediate fires on your ship. Okay. All I can do is wait here. Which is not good. Alright. Well, that's nice. And we got 4 fuel this time. So we actually have a shot at getting to a store before we run out of fuel again. So I'm keeping this guy in here. Eventually I'll upgrade. I'm debating on what to do in this situation, actually. I would like to upgrade my shields, actually. Am I going to move him? Should I move him down there? Is my question. I'm not entirely sure what I should do. I know I need to heal these guys up real quick. It won't take long at all, and then I can disable the med bay again. Alright, I'm gonna move them back to where they were. And I'm gonna move this guy down into the shield room so that I get that bonus power to the shield. And still be able to run my combat drone and also get the extra shield barrier, which is going to be huge because I'm actually in a pretty bad spot right now. I have no fuel, my ship's not particularly powerful, and I don't have very good hull strength right now. I'm pretty beat up. But luckily this quest marker's right here, and I'll be able to jump here and get some pretty good amount of scrap out of that, considering that you don't start getting a lot of scrap until a little bit later towards the end game. I don't think I'm going to hire a crew member. Energy ships really aren't built for large crews. There's not a lot of use I've found for them the few times that I've played this ship. I'm going to buy all the fuel that they have because I've got nothing. That's nice. That's what the Kestrel ship comes with by default, and it's a great... No, it's the Burst Laser 2 that they get. This is actually a lot more powerful. Burst lasers are nice, but considering the ship I have and what I've got right here, I don't think I'll need it. I have the ion bomb, and that's more than enough to get past shields, and I don't know if I really want to be wailing on shields ineffectively. I think I'm just going to focus on getting my hull back up to strength. That should be enough. I'm gonna jump back to the exit and then jump away to the next system, and hopefully I can find even more fuel. Because there are times that I've gotten to almost 30 fuel. It's just very unfortunate that there's always an area that we're going to be struggling in this game. I just haven't quite figured out the little secrets to this. I've never had any problems with this one. Usually nothing bad happens if you participate. I think one time they boarded my ship, and that's the only time that I've ever had a problem or been attacked through it. But here we just get some free scrap, and I've never run into a situation where that comes back to bite you later. So until that happens, I'm gonna always accept that, because I'm fairly confident that I can get out of any bad situations involving being boarded by them. This is actually very difficult. I'm gonna pick Mantis because I'm more confident in my ability to take them down. Right here I'm gonna have to use my ion bomb to take down their weapon systems, otherwise they might do a lot of damage to me. Oh, or not. All they have is a... oh. Take some power off that, power this back up. Because if they take out my... I'm not in that bad of a situation here, because I'm not too worried about this ship, because they don't have enough firepower to get through my shields for the laser to actually do any serious damage to me. But I want to get this fight over with as quickly as possible, because you typically get a good amount of scrap out of this. And I kind of want to just get a move on. I don't want to be stuck here that long. And also, they keep sending these boarders on, and every time they take down one of your systems, it does 1 damage to the hull. And I'd preferably try to avoid as much damage as possible in this situation. So right now we're just shooting at it. Hopefully it hits the shields. That's what I'd really like for it to do, but right now it's just shooting at various other things on the ship and not actually hitting what I need to hit. But this ship won't try to run away, so I'm not in any danger in that regard. So I'm not going to miss out on anything. And there we go. Alright, so we got 3 fuel, which is great, because I'm close to running out again. I got a lot of scrap and 2 missiles, which is really nice, honestly. My ship's doing pretty good, actually. I thought this would go poorly, actually, but now we have a lot of scrap, and I'm going to focus on upgrading the reactor. I'm going to put 2 into the engines. Our evade is 25% now, which is pretty decent. I think we'll be able to handle some larger ships now, because we'll have a chance of actually avoiding some of their shots. That's typically what gets me, is my ships just can't avoid the big stuff. This is a very scary ship right here. I don't really like this. I'm probably going to take a good bit of damage from their lasers. I really do. I'm gonna take their shields down and just keep firing on that and keep it disabled. And eventually the asteroid will take him out as the combat drone keeps shooting out. That's what happens, alright. Now one thing that I've noticed is that you can just sit in these asteroid belts and just keep taking damage to your ship, because it'll give experience to your shield guy, but I don't know if I really want to do that. It's not really worth it, so I think I'm just going to jump away. That store is very tempting, because I need fuel. You always need fuel. Don't other people out there to save you, because otherwise you're going to be in a very bad position. Eventually somebody's just not gonna come along and give you anything, and you're gonna get caught by the rebel fleet and you're gonna die. That'd be useful, but I really don't care that much. I'm fairly confident that with my crew, I do have a Mantis crew member, and they're very capable in combat, so I'm not that afraid of being boarded right now. Anti-drone would be pretty nice. I might get this. I'm just gonna actually repair myself completely here. Get the fuel. I don't really need the drone parts. We're not in that bad of a situation. The good thing is that drones, typically you aren't going to be using that many drone parts until you get multiple drones, but right now I only have one. I don't need to worry about using that many drone parts, honestly. I'll probably be able to make it another 3 sectors before using all of my drone parts that I have right now up, and I'll find more along the way, I'm sure. These assault drones are terrible. They usually have very good weapons, and it looks like they've got an ion beam. I think the same one that I do, and they also have what looks like a burst laser. Okay. They also have one of those. And a drone of their own, which is going to really mess me up if they get their shields like that. They're very effective at doing damage. So I'm going to focus on keeping them from shooting me and taking my shields down. Their beam weapon's not going to be able to get through. So I'm just going to sit here for a few minutes and just keep firing at them. I'll try and take out their ability to evade, because that's going to really do some favors for me at this point now. Take their shields down again. Those are really giving my drone a problem. Alright, finally in a position where we're doing serious damage to it. I think we've got this locked down. At this point, yeah, it's okay. I'm looking at their, trying to figure out what kind of weapon. It looks like they've got a burst laser, maybe Mark 1 or 2, so only 1 or 2 shots, and it looks like a missile launcher probably does 2 damage. So I'm gonna attack them and see what I can do, because I think I might be able to beat these guys. They've got their maintenances going for my oxygen, which is bad, to say the least. That's what I was afraid of. I was afraid that they'd take out my... Without my weapons, I'm pretty defenseless. There's not a lot I can do, but... Now we are in a good position. A better position. This is bad. Now I'm actually worried. I'm taking a lot of damage. I think this might be it. I'm gonna avoid the air and hope that that can control it. Do it from both directions. Thankfully they missed us there. We're taking a lot of damage. I might need to just jump away. If I do that at this point, I'm just gonna jump out of here. I'm just taking too much damage. I'm going to the civilian sector, and hopefully I'll be able to repair my ship. They took out my oxygen and my weapon systems, which is pretty bad. I don't know why I went around there. That's not the way to go, bud. Upgrade my reactor again. The problem is that I'm too inattentive at times to play this game as effectively as I could be. At times I just forget what's going on, or I get too flustered and bad things start happening. And I'm gonna put everybody up in here, or at least all my energy crew members, because they repair the fastest and I'll be able to get my weapons online quicker. I feel like if we'd gotten our ion bomb off on their weapon system, we probably would have been able to actually win that encounter. The fact that we couldn't is what lost us that situation. Get him in there, let him heal up. Take one off our oxygen, power up our ion bomb. This is a little irritating to have two stores right here at the very beginning, so I don't know if I'll be able to get a chance to come back to them once the rebels get here. I wish I had the scrap, but I am going to attack them because we do need more scrap. Scrap is something that's absolutely needed at all times. They've got 2 missile launchers. I'm in a bad spot. I need to get their weapon systems down as quickly as possible, because they'll probably kill the other one. They've got 2 rockets. They have a lot of tanks. They're not going to go down very easily. All I can hope to do is try to do as much damage to them as possible. There goes my drone. They've gotten off. I'm probably gonna die here. I really don't see myself making it at this point. Thankfully, they've missed several shots now. Let me get my drone back up. One more hit and I'm dead. That's it. Alright, well, I think I'm gonna stop the recording here, and I'll see you guys later.